Just want to say a few words. I know you're facing a few speeches, but I think just echoing a couple of the themes here, one of the things that I think people always ask is, kind of, the creative industries love talking about the fact we don't make a strong enough case for the creative industries. And, you know, there's no doubt about it, it's fragmented, it's difficult, and creative cats are very difficult to herd. Yeah? You know, there's no doubt about it. But you know, as someone who naturally has had a healthy cynicism about our ability to pull it together, also had the kind of decent comfort of a chip on the shoulder saying, look, we just don't get the voice, and look at these other industries and what a job they're doing. And also felt a little bit like meetings, committees, good intentions have been lovely, but they haven't got us that far. I'm now beginning to think that through the efforts of government initiatives like this, we're beginning to move forward, and Nicola leading the Creative Industries Council, there just seems to have been a leap. And that is something that I feel very strongly about. Personally, Ed and I are co-chairing something with UKTI called the attractively named SAG, a very dynamic name, the Sector Advisory Group. Ed and I leap into these meetings to chair the SAG. But we're looking internationally at the potential of the creative industries. Let me just give you very quickly, kind of rapid fire, the evidence that would suggest that no, I nearly used the word bullshit, no bullshit. I think we're beginning to see some change. It's also dependent on people in this room to start repeating some of this bluntly and have a consistent narrative about the creative industry so we fight together. So everyone, we've got very strong associations in our industries, but this is a chance to get together. The first is, and it is a major achievement, the numbers that, and the Secretary of State and the Minister, Ed, everyone should be congratulated on this in terms of from an industry perspective. To get one set of numbers, believe me, don't underestimate the ability for us to confuse everyone with what are the creative industries. But that set of numbers, 15.5 billion in exports, growing 16.1% ahead of the rest of the market, 1.7 million employed in the sector. We all need to repeat that to death. It's a strong story and government will listen to it. And that set of numbers is now agreed, definitions agreed, let's move on. That's the first thing. If anyone disagrees with them, just forget it. You're finished. You have lost any argument. Okay? No, I'm serious. We're moving on. So that's the numbers. The second is we're seeing the creative industries a fundamental part of Britain's story in things like the Great Initiatives. So if, you know, the Great Week in Turkey, those things where we present Britain, I think the creative industry, you cannot do it without the creative industries. Creativity definitely at the grand scale, but also the creative industries. We have recently, with the help of UKTI and the SAG and everything, launched the Creative Industries Task Force for the high-value opportunities around the world. These are massive infrastructure projects that engineering businesses were involved in. 100 creative businesses are now involved, and we're seeing absolute progress in terms, and very clear progress of people being on pitch lists, on being involved in those international projects. We hope to extend that over time, subject to resources, but quite the first 100 are done. And, you know, we're also beginning to see things like the website, pulling it together. So we haven't even got a website that tells you what it's beginning to happen. And this is all really a very big drum roll for some fantastic work that Nicola and the team are doing in terms of laying out an overall strategy for the creative industries, which has clear requests. I mean, we're seeing things like the film tax credit completely transform investment. There are ways in which we can transform exports. From an international perspective, by the way, 15.5 billion. With the growth, the great thing about this is it's not a story of scale, it's a story of growth as much as scale. And there's no reason why it couldn't be 2030. It's just all in this room. So thank you very much. It's looking good.